Welcome to BOJTV Trending News for top stories in local, regional and international news, along with sports and local weather forecast. I'm Carla. Coming up in your local trending news, JPS refute claims of tardiness. Plans are advanced for the joint meeting of Parliament to pay tribute to former Prime Minister the Most Honourable Edward Seaga. More than 200 people have died in road crashes since the start of the year, and no decision on whether a special delegates conference will be held to select a new president for the People's National Party. Now the details. The Jamaica Public Service, JPS, has refuted claims that the company was late in its response subsequent to the electrocution of a 16-year-old boy in Hamilton Gardens, Portmore on Sunday, June 16. The JPS, in a statement on Monday, while expressing condolences to relatives of Tyrese Winter, said it is concerned about claims that the company responded some 3 hours after being summoned. This is absolutely incorrect, the power company said, outlining that it received a call at 11:11 a.m. about an electric shock in Hamilton Gardens. At 11:26 a.m. the company said it received a call from the police indicating an alleged electrocution, and by 11:56 a.m. its team arrived and conducted the isolation of the circuit. By 12:08 p.m. the company said isolation or de-energization was completed to facilitate the fire brigade's operation. This means the company completed its response within 1 hour from receiving the first call to completing the operation, and not 3 hours as was reported, the company insisted. At the same time, the JPS said it regrets this loss of life and continues to remind people that power lines should be given a minimum of a 12.5-foot clearance from trees, buildings and other structures. Plans are advanced for the joint meeting of Parliament to pay tribute to former Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Edward Seaga, on Wednesday. Mr. Seaga was the last surviving member of a team that drafted the Jamaican Constitution and the last surviving member of the first Parliament of independent Jamaica. Mr. Seaga also holds the distinction of Jamaica's longest-serving member of Parliament, having represented the constituency of West Kingston from 1962 until he retired in 2005. The joint meeting will be held on Wednesday, June 19 at 2 p.m. The ceremony will see the attendance of former Prime Ministers, public officials, and member of the Diplomatic Corps. Former parliamentarians interested in attending the event are asked to contact the Houses of Parliament to confirm their attendance. A condolence book for the former Prime Minister will remain open at Gordon House until June 21. One person lost his life and 10 others injured following their involvements in a two-vehicle collision which occurred along the Rose-Lee Main Road in St. Thomas on Sunday. The deceased has been identified as 31 years old Nicholas Thomas, labourer of a Kingston address. Reports are that about 4:30 p.m. Thomas and the other persons were travelling in the back of a Nissan Frontier pickup truck. On reaching a section of the Rose-Lee Main Road, the driver of the Toyota Corolla motor car attempted to overtake them and slammed into the rear of the pickup truck. The impact forced the pickup off the roadway and flipped over and landed in the sea below, resulting in Thomas and 10 other persons receiving injuries. They were transported to hospital where Thomas died and the others treated. The driver of the Corolla, which crashed into a tree, was also treated at hospital and then taken into custody by the police. An 18-year-old teenage boy who hails from Princess Street in Montego Bay, St. James, was shot and killed after allegedly walking with his girlfriend to her home in Green Pond community last night. The body of the deceased, Mark Powell Jr., was discovered about 6:30 a.m. by community members at a section of Green Pond known as Hillview Crescent. The teenage boy was last seen alive on Monday at about 8 p.m. by his father, Mark Powell Sr. Mr. Powell stated that he and his son came home from work yesterday about 8 p.m. and he gave him $1,000 to purchase food, telling him not to leave the yard. Mr. Powell Sr. says he is not sure if his son had followed his girlfriend home when he was shot, but he knows that he has a girlfriend in that area. More than 200 people have died in road crashes since the start of the year, according to statistics released by the Road Safety Unit RSU in the Ministry of Transport and Mining. RSU Director Canute here has attributed a majority of the crashes to bad driving practices. Of the 206 persons killed in 190 fatal crashes, 49 were pedestrians, 14 were pedal cyclists, 66 were motorcyclists, and 6 were pillion riders. The figure also includes 4 public passenger vehicle passengers, 29 passengers of private motor vehicle, 5 commercial motor car passengers, 1 PPV driver, 30 private motor vehicle drivers, and 2 drivers of commercial motor cars. The RSU is appealing to all road users to wear their seat belts, helmets and other protective devices to save lives, as well as to pay close attention to road signs and markings. HARE is also encouraging motorists who transport passengers to ensure that they do so safely by ensuring the wearing of seat belts. Pedestrians and pedal cyclists are also advised to wear bright coloured clothing at night and use reflective gears to ensure they can be seen at all times. Pedal cyclists should wear clothing that will make them more visible to other road users, especially in the nights. So far, St. Catherine has accounted for 17% of road users killed, the largest figure since the start of the year. Executive members of the People's National Party of the PNP emerged from their weekly meeting on Monday night with no decision on whether a special delegates conference will be held to select a new president. The meeting took place as presidential aspirant Peter Buntin continued to insist that a special delegates conference would breach party rules and that he would not participate. He wants the runoff to be held during the PNP's annual conference in September. PNP General Secretary Julian Robinson told reporters that there will be further consultation, after which the executive will meet again in short order to make a final determination. Mr. Buntin has declared that an attempt to hold any early vote would put him at a disadvantage, as he would not have enough time to meet with delegates. It could also cause a crisis in the PNP, he warned. Meanwhile, the PNP Secretariat has started preparing the delegates list for the leadership challenge, Julian Robinson confirmed. Those were the top stories making local trending news. Now join us for news from across the region, as well as our international story, sports, and our local weather forecast. In news from across the region, a Jamaican man and a Trinidadian policewoman were held with narcotics at the Piarco International Airport on Saturday. It's reported that the woman, a Special Reserve police officer who is attached to the mounted branch, was reportedly stopped and searched while attempting to board a flight at the airport. The Jamaican man, whose identity has not been disclosed, was also preparing to board the flight. The two were searched and officers reportedly found a quantity of drugs strapped to their bodies. They were arrested and taken into custody. It is unclear if they were traveling together. The report also did not state the type of drugs found in their possession. In international news, the mayor of the U.S. city of Phoenix has apologized after a video allegedly showing police threatening to shoot a black family went viral. Officers were responding to an alleged shoplifting incident last month when the video was recorded. Police officers can be seen shouting at the family to get out of their vehicle before threatening them. The parents say they did not realize their 4-year-old had taken a $1 Barbie from the store. Mayor Kate Gallego said the officers' actions were completely inappropriate and clearly unprofessional. Ms. Gallego said in a statement, "There is no situation in which this behavior is ever close to acceptable. As a mother myself, seeing these children placed in such a terrifying situation is beyond upsetting." She said that the city was speeding up the implementation of body-worn cameras. A community meeting about the incident will also be held today. In the video, Aisha Harper can be seen emerging from the car with her 2 young children. The children were handed to a bystander and Miss Harper is arrested. The footage also shows another man, Drayvon Ames, being kicked in the legs as he is handcuffed by an officer. The couple are preparing to sue the city for $10 million over the incident. Rapper Jay-Z's Rock Nation company has offered the pair legal support. Over in our sporting report, Principal of St. Elizabeth Technical High School, Keith Wellington, is the new president for the governing body for local high school sports, the Inter-Secondary School Sports Association, ISSA. Wellington, who lost by a mere 2 votes at the 2017 elections, was elected unopposed for the top post in ISSA this time around during Thursday's elections at the Terra Nova Hotel in St. Andrew. He succeeds Dr. Walton Small, who stepped down after 6 consecutive terms in office to enter representational politics. Wolmer's Girls' School principal, Colleen Montague, is the new vice president, while Richard Thompson of Titchfield High has taken over as chairman of the Boys and Girls Champs Committee, a post previously held by Montague. The top tier of the 17-member executive also includes Calabar's principal, Albert Crocho, who was returned unopposed as treasurer, and Hazel Cameron of Clancarty High, who takes over as the new chairperson of the Finance Committee. 110 of the 180 principals who make up ISA attended the elections. The new executive will serve for 2 years. Now let's take a look at our local weather forecast. Insignificant feature: a high-pressure ridge across Jamaica and the northern Caribbean. Additionally, there is a low-level jet stream across the central Caribbean. The high-pressure ridge and the low-level jet stream will remain across the island and the region for the next few days. The forecast for this afternoon will see partly cloudy skies and windy conditions. Tonight, fair. Maximum temperature expected for Kingston as well as Montego Bay today is 34 degrees Celsius. That was BOJ's trending news. For local, regional and international stories, as well as our sports and weather forecast, I'm Carla. Thank you for watching.